Idaiope joins us now. He's a legal practitioner. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you very much.
What a session they had there. Is that a sign of things to come, do you think?
Nigerians have really moved on.
Moved on?
Yes. The world is a global village. When one Muhammad something did what he did in Tunisia, poured 10 liters of jerry can on him and lit it. Fire burnt. For you to understand where I'm going, the Arab world is a Christian world too. I'm sorry, it's a Muslim world. They believe that Allah is in charge of everything. They hardly challenge leadership. But from that Muhammad's action, the hurricane has blown across the Arab nation. They are now challenging authority. We down here that do not have such constraints. Look at what happened during the fuel riots. Nigerians came out. Sometimes when I drive by, I see people standing by newsstands. They can't even buy the papers, but they're reading. So they're holding their radios. We've moved on.
From where to where?
From a point of docility that we had before. I don't care attitude, not them thing. We're moving to a place where Nigerians are beginning to ask questions. Hey, what's going on? What's happening here? Something we're not doing before. When we're described as the happiest people on earth, why? Nigerians were not caring. Anything goes. So long as I have a place to do my small business, anything is okay. But now Nigerians are asking questions.
What kind of questions have you heard them ask about this conference?
We just watched what happened here. I read about what happened at Akure too, when they went there. That billboards, in fact, they had television cameras and they had TVs and all that put outside. People were watching, and then the microphones were extended outside. You can feel in the air that people really want to be involved in this discussion. You see, those of us who can sit down, I thank God I have the opportunity to be here to talk. But I can't speak for everybody. The average Nigerian on the streets wants to talk. And that's the difference between this conference and others.
They want to talk, or they just want...
We've had constitutional conferences, not this time, where some people were handpicked, put in a room, they take decisions. This one we're saying people should talk. We tried it in 2005. It didn't work out because somebody tried to hijack it to make it a personal landing.
No, we've not had the conference yet.
I mean, the type we're moving towards, which we're asking for.
Yes, I think that is what we should, because I know that you have been here several times to talk about, a national dialogue also, to push for one.
I'm so happy.
You've always talked about how, for us, for you, we should address the money.
Yes.
And if we address the money, we'll most likely get to the root of the problems.
Yes.
From what you have seen, from the processes that you think might most likely be put in place, because we've seen different reactions just before you came. I mean, even just shortly after the president announced the constitution of this advisory committee, we sampled opinions, and a host of people figured they had their own idea of how this conference should go, if it was going to go that way. What they envisaged is a national dialogue that would eventually end in a referendum. But it would seem that that is not exactly how it's been planned that it should go. What do you think?
First of all, I want to start by saying that we respect there are arguments on all the sides. There are arguments. If you take that away, then you're not being fair. There are arguments on all the sides. The first school of thought is that we need a sovereign national conference. I believe Nigerians have moved beyond this year whether or not we should have a conference. The problem is not the nomenclature. How do we capture it? Majority view, that is. We don't want no-go areas. We want sovereign. There's merit in that argument. Or we want the National Assembly involved. There's also merit there. I'll just show the two sides and I'll say the middle course, which I favor. Now, for a start, there was no time Nigerians sat down to say they want a constitution and made one. So that preamble, we the people, is a lie. You don't build anything on falsehood. This is not morality. This is real life. You don't build business. You don't build enterprise. You don't build anything on falsehood. We the people, it's a lie. There was no time Nigerians came together and agreed to make a constitution. That's a lie. What is a constitution? I don't want to waste much time. Let me just go straight and read this. This is the quotation made by Legitimacy. I beg your pardon. Legitimacy, yes, when he was in the Supreme Court. It's the case of Attorney General of Abia State and Attorney General of the Federation. I read what he said. The constitution of a nation is a fans its origo, not only of the jurisprudence, but also of the legal system of the nation. It is the beginning and the end of the legal system. In Greek language, it is the Alpha and Omega. It is the barometer with which all statutes are measured. In line with the kingly position of the Constitution, all the three arms of government are slaves to the Constitution, not in a sense of undergoing servitude or bondage, but in a sense of total obeisance and loyalty to it. This is in recognition of the supremacy of the Constitution over and above every statute, be it an act of the National Assembly or a law of the House of Assembly of the state. Every law requires the Constitution to be valid. Anything you do, even if it's a law by National Assembly, say that if it's inconsistent with it, it goes. Now, there was no time we agreed that this kind beautiful document that would require so much. There was no time we said, say lie.
But we'll have to practice it until we get a new one.
Yeah, I'm coming. You see, we're talking about structure. It's a foundational problem. Houses have been collapsing because they didn't have good enough foundations. We don't have a foundation as a country. That's why when I hear people talk that we don't need a constitution, it makes me laugh. Maybe they don't want to look at the problems that we have. I will just digress a little bit, please. I'm sorry. We've always had things done for us as a country. Right from 1914 amalgamation, when Lord Lugard and his journalist wife did what they did. Under the circumstance, of course, they had to do what they had to do. But that decision was taken. I know that in Niger Delta, what they signed were protectorates. Nobody gave up sovereignty to the white man. Protectorate rights is simply, you trade with me, I trade with you, and you protect me from other powers. In fact, King Jalia refused to sign one of those protectorates. He was banished and taken on board and taken to West Indies or something. And he died on his way back to the Niger Delta. I know that most Niger Delta communities never gave up their sovereignty. They gave up what they signed were protectorates, protective rights. Now, look at it. We now became a country in 1914. It has cascaded down now. All leaders of Nigeria never planned for it. People pushed them in. You start from Magu Ironsi, or you start for Tafa Balewa, he never wanted to be. Agodis never wanted, they planned coup and put him in. Gowan never wanted, they planned and put him in. Then you come to democracy, the same thing. Shagari just wanted to be a teacher, a senator. He was a grade 2 teacher. All he wanted, his ambition was to be a senator. When the oil came and compounded issues, people now were taking decisions for the country because of oil money. Again, money. The Hawks will put a gentleman there and steal the country blind with him in charge. Shagari finished, they pushed him, he went in. After Shagari, the coup came. Buhari, he didn't plan the coup. The plans of the coup put him forward, military fashion. After him, you have Babangida who had some semblance of plans and handed over to Abacha, and then he took us a merry-go-round. That's the difference. We'll go back to democracy. Obasanjo became president. He never asked for the job. You see, this is a job you should plan for, have a program.
How come these people who never ask for the job, when they get there, after the first 4 years, they go for it, so they ask for the remaining 4?
I don't know. Because of part of the incumbents and Nigerian factor. No, it's part of the incumbents and Nigerian factor. We know how the elections go in this country. But from other clients and what you have seen, you sit down, you dream this thing, you plan it, you sleep it, you talk it, you dream it. To rule a country as big as this is not a child's play.
So from this analysis, so we haven't...
After this, how did Jonathan Yadua came? Yadua had planned for it. He has written to his university, a degree or so, that he wants to go back to teach. They've written back, say, come, we're waiting for you. Some people went and said, come on.
I have not, I'm still trying to get your middle ground.
The middle ground I'm trying to give is this. Starting from 1914, when this plan, decisions were taken for us outside. Nigerians have never been involved in the decision of their fate. And then when oil came and compounded issues, you have a cabal who will always put forward somebody unplanned. The interest of the country meant nothing to anybody. So long as they are positioned